ever since I was a child, man, I had a love for nature, man, and this flute right here, you know, it just sounds really natural, and that's what attracted me to it. I just play, man. I don't really even think about it. I find it really relaxing, calming, and you know, you just gotta enjoy life, man.
Yeah. We hinted at it and talked about it over the last few months in like live streams, but I never had a chance to dedicate a video to it. And that's the rumors that Kieth Thurman is going to be signing with Eddie Hearn. And it's possible it can happen. Remember, we didn't think that it was possible that Danny Jacobs was going to sign with a promoter, and that happened. We may ask the question of, well, if he signs with Eddie Hearn, what does that mean for the 147-pound division in regards to, will he be fighting on Dazn? Will he be fighting on Showtime? Or if he does sign with Eddie Hearn, the number one question fans are going to start really, really asking and crucifying him about is, he just went to sign with Eddie Hearn not to fight Errol Spence. You know, kind of like when Danny Jacobs signed with HBO and left Showtime and signed with Eddie Hearn, it made the Billy Joe Saunders fight pretty much politically impossible to make. Along with adding that network dynamic of fighting 160-pound fighters on HBO versus really not being able to fight Jamal Charlo, because Jamal Charlo was Showtime's property and Danny Jacobs is definitely signed with HBO. But Kieth Thurman has lost his WBC 147-pound title. You might as well say with me, you could put it this way: he was stripped. He was going to be stripped. So it was one of them type of things where it's like this, like, you resign or we're gonna fire your ass. You know, we tired of it. You know, and then people on our back about your performance. You know, so we're gonna shit can you. And you know, so he did the respectful thing and he vacated. So it's like, you know, you can't fire me because I quit. You know, so now he has Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, who are supposed to be fighting for his vacated WBC title sometime in the fall. The date we were hearing was going to be August the 25th, but it's looking like that's not going to happen, and it looks like both fighters are not even in camp. And it may have something to do with, you know, finding the date, because I'm sure they're going to do it in the Barclays Center. And also that date I've been hearing is like a really bad date for boxing. Mayweather McGregor fought on August the 26th, but hey, that's Mayweather McGregor, I understand. You know? But and then it being like, you know, like Labor Day weekend coming up and all that, they probably figure, well, you know, we're going to wait till a later date, probably in September or October, depending. So Kieth Thurman, when he comes back now, he doesn't have that WBC title. He doesn't have any mandatory. And you have, right now, by the way, it's July the 8th, 2018. It is 1:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Manny Pacquiao is taking on Lucas Matisse next week, July the 14th, on ESPN Plus for the WBA World. So Amir Khan is trying to also get the, and Eddie Hearn is trying to get the, Amir Khan versus Samuel Vargas to be some type of eliminator for either Kieth Thurman or Manny Pacquiao. And then, of course, you have Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. But in that case, it makes more sense if Amir Khan signed with Eddie Hearn, right? And he said, well, listen, mate, we're talking to Kieth Thurman, too. He's possibly going to come over, but we're still working some things out. Maybe, you know, that's another option out there for Amir Khan to get a world title and maybe fight, you know, Kieth Thurman. But, you know, it really all depends. And we're not going to know anything until this new venture from the Perform Group and the Zone launches. You know, that's this streaming service that's coming here to the United States. It's going to have the World Boxing Super Series tournament, 32 cards from Matchroom. But with that said, Eddie Hearn is supposed to be putting on 16 shows here in the United States, right? From my understanding, 4 of which is supposed to be pay-per-view quality. With that said, what fighters, does he has? He has to, sign up a lot of fighters. Now, he's saying he's been turned down a lot, and I believe he said he has 4 world champions that he's going to unveil. I believe that's what he said. I'm not sure. But right now, it's like looking kind of grim, because how are you going to produce all those shows in this market? And ESPN, and Top Rank, they got a lot of money they're throwing around and trying to get everybody. There's even the story of how Al Heyman, had 2 shill promoters bid on Adonis Stevenson versus Grosdick just to beat ESPN. They're throwing money around. So, we're going to see. In fact, let's go look at it real quick. Let's go look at the 100 and that's Keith Thurman and his wife, by the way. Look at that flute bag. I wonder if he made this flute bag thing. I wonder if he made this. I think my bad. I didn't put whiteboard on here. Let's go over here. Damn it. Fucking everything up. Hold up. That's not what I'm trying to do. There we go. You think he made this thing? This flute bag? Here's the 140-pound, 47-pound division as it stands right now. Why is this? We got to fix my... Let's put that over there for right now. As I said, Danny Garcia and Sean Porter are supposed to be fighting for this WBC title. When Keith Thurman returns, he's got to fight somebody in the top 15 unless he goes for a unification. But he's already said multiple times that his comeback fight is going to be a tune-up fight. And then can you really blame him? At this point in time, we're pushing, a year and a half by the time he gets back in the ring. So can you really blame him? So, I'm looking at these names and, I'm wondering, who is he? They'll find somebody, because remember, it's the WBA, and they'll put somebody in the rankings just for him to fight. So, I don't really have any, I don't know. It's not looking real good for Keith Thurman, because I'm wondering right now, like, if his heart is still in the game, and he seemed to have lost his fire, even when he's in interviews. And I talked to him myself months and months back. Even in interviews, he just don't seem like he's that hungry for it anymore. He just don't seem like he's like, don't duck me. Now he's playing a political game that he never said. At one point in time, he was saying he wasn't going to play it. But he is very in touch in saying that, he knows he can be knocked out. And if he gets knocked out, he's just going to get back up and fight again. If he can. Which Sean Porter did, having that tough fight with Danny Garcia, Luis Collazo punching him in the stomach. He's been, that shit's changed. And it's crazy because he doesn't do like a lot of interviews and media appearances. He's not really a trash talker. However, when he does talk, he can hold the mic. When he does talk, he's very good on the microphone, but he is so highly rated. Like, for example, his fights with Keith Thurman, with Danny Garcia and Sean Porter was, outside of what they did with Errol Spence, was the 2 PBC highest rated fights ever. When Errol Spence fought Bundu after America won the gold in the Olympics basketball. So Leonard versus Bundu happened directly after that, so they capitalized off of that ratings. No knock to Errol Spence, but I'm saying they capitalized off of those ratings. But Keith Thurman is still very relevant in boxing. It's just that, he's been injured and he don't fight. And he don't do, like no promos or anything like that. He'll never be able to dodge Errol Spence unless Errol Spence moves up to 147 pounds. But I damn sure know if he signs with Eddie Hearn, people are going to be like, he just did that to avoid Spence. Sean Porter going to be pissed, but at least Sean Porter's getting Danny Garcia. But whoever wins that fight, they're going to be like, well, listen, Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford, we don't know enough about him at 147 pounds just yet. I'm sorry, not yet. Not yet. We just don't know enough. We're still learning. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.